Yeah, they really tried to knock me down, but they didn't knock me down. I've been through some ups and downs, but I still keep my smile. I'ma make my mama proud. I'm a king, I'ma rock my crown. They really tried to knock me down, but they didn't.
Peace, life, and love. We're here with another episode of Peace TV. You're rocking here with your host, Brother Peace. And I'm here with some good brothers. You brothers want to introduce yourselves and let the people know a little bit about yourselves?
Peace family, this is your brother Moudou Baqui from Detroit, just representing that mushroom science, cultivator, advocate, worker. Peace, y'all.
Thanks, my dude.
Yes, peace family, this is your boy Darren, also known as Darren Springer, coming out of London. Reckon as Moudou said, man, for that mushroom family, that Mycelium connection, sport technology. Peace.
Okay. Good thing. Shout out to my brothers, man. I hear y'all representing for the mycelium, the entheogens, the mushrooms, so we're definitely going to touch that topic. But I want to start off with peace. You know, you're here with Brother Peace. And here on Peace TV, I like to get different perspectives of peace. You know, I feel like each individual here on this planet has their own path and different things that they embrace naturally that puts them in a state of peace and contentment within themselves. And I just want to see how y'all view peace and how do you cultivate it and create it? You feel like it's necessary to have peace within yourself. So, which one of you brothers want to start?
Well, yeah, first off, I guess I view peace as, balance. You know, I've learned, over the years that I guess what they say, too much of anything is bad. So I guess when things in my life are most balanced, that's where I find peace at, where it's not too much or too little of anything. They say moderation of all things, including moderation.
Good thing. Thank you for sharing your view and perspective of peace, brother. Darren, I'd like to get your perspective as well. How do you view peace, brother?
I think where I'm at now, I think ultimately I see peace as like a peace of mind thing. I think that's the ultimate peace, peace within. And I think that manifests without, although what may be around you may be chaotic. And, we're just conversating, with what's the current climate on planet Earth at the moment, with what's going on. It's like if you're at peace with yourself, you can navigate through this in a peaceful way and not be thrown off. So, yeah, that's the peace that I try to attain, and I do that through different modes, man, through different methods. Sometimes music brings me peace, being in silence brings me peace, being with my people, being by myself. So, it's just different states of consciousness that bring me peace. But the more I'm at peace and feel at peace, the more I flow, man, the more I flow.
True. Okay, good things. The more you flow when you tap into that peace and feel that, brother. So, brothers, at times it's not always peaceful. We go through different things in life. Sometimes people may disappoint us. We may make mistakes. Anything can happen in this life, man. Sometimes it may interrupt your peace. So how do you protect your peace? And how do you, like when you're not feeling that peace, what are some things you just naturally can do to get yourself back in that frequency of contentment within yourself?
Well, one of the first things I try to do is just realize that, part of life is going through those turbulent times. So sometimes I just, as much as it may be uncomfortable, realize first that it's part of the cycle. That it's just part of what happens, and then two, try to find a lesson in it, find growth in it, and ultimately realize that, it's part of my life journey, my lesson. It's part of my hero journey, as they call it. It's what defines us. It's what makes us, the gods that, we strive to be, because, the reason people build muscles is because of the resistance of the weights, so. But to try to find peace in those turbulent times, I always, try to make my home a citadel of peace. You know, so I try to cultivate that, and then you know, just the practices, the ancestral practices, man. You know, whether it's you know, doing my altar work, whether it's utilizing those sacred technology, the sacred plants, you know, whether it's applying martial arts and training. You know, sometimes you can work penance or work out your anger through, or whatever frustrations through just hard, dedicated work. You know, focusing that energy toward excellence. You know, there are other times, you know, it's just, you just have to ride through it. You know, and that's where you soak up the good things in the good times so that you can withstand those. And then understand that, you know, there's nothing greater than what comes to you. So.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, brother. And I'm glad that you definitely have those solutions and some things you can tap into and have that awareness to shift your vibration, you know, get you back into a state of feeling at peace or in a good flow. You feel me? Give thanks for that.
I think for me, man, I think in essence, that's just a struggle that I go through on a day-to-day basis. When I wake up in the morning, there's certain vibes, energies. So again, whether it's outside of myself or within those challenges where, you know, you get frustrated, you get mad at yourself, mad at the world, you know, or just, you know, as I said, with the current climate, man, where you might feel powerless, you know, not in your power. So, you know, and that, you know, that can obviously has an impact. So as far as peace, like, I'm a moody, so man, I'm struggling out here, but like, that's what I'm working towards. So I'm always trying to attain. So how do I find my peace? You know, like, that's going within. It's for me to go within and go home, take some time out, spend quality, you know, invest in myself, you know, to get myself back to whatever it is I need to be, you know, wherever I need to be at that time. So sometimes it's just like, it might be physical challenges, you know what I'm saying? I say, like, you know, knowing that I need to get up in the morning and do my practice, my physical practice, but I'm not doing my physical practice. And that conversation and that dialogue that goes on in the psyche, you know, there's that battle, there's that struggle. So when you deal with that and you fulfill the mission, you feel good, you're more at peace, you know, and it's like, so why do you struggle with it pre that when you know the rewards are great, like you get, like you said, the muscle, the resistance, you know, but so that for me, that's the war, man, that dialogue that I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And then all what's that external of me, I feel is a, you know, a butterfly effect of how I feel. So when I'm flowing, I'm feeling at peace. Don't tell me about chemtrails, don't tell me about COVID, like, I'm in another space and place, like, I'm not, that's not throwing me off, you know, so, that's what I'm working towards and attaining on a daily basis.
Thanks for sharing, brother. I feel like that's definitely a journey for many of us to just maintain that consistent flow of peace, you know. And that's why I'm having this platform here to just get different examples and lifestyles that reflect that, because many people struggle to find peace every day. Even a lot of people do not know what peace looks like, you know, or don't look at it as a thing they want to embrace because they're so consumed with things outside of peace, you know. So I feel it's vital just to have these different testimonies, perspectives, and things that reflect peace from different examples of different people. How do you feel like our people can attain peace by tapping in with the mycelium, the mushrooms?
Oh, absolutely. Man. Yeah, that's a major source. Major source. Because one, it helps you like reflect on your own like limited thinking, you know, that you might acquire through school or wherever else, you know, we get brainwashed, you know. So as we all been through our initial initiations, we learn how to, you know, let go of some kind of small thoughts, you know, right there. Also too is like recognizing your locus of control, as they say. Like, we all have influence, you know, like we all have a certain amount of flow around us. It's a circle of influence that we have. And then once you understand what that locus of control is, you understand what you can't control. You let go of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really about identifying what are those things I have control over that I can in any situation, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's I control, and then what you don't have control, you just have to let it go, you know? But yeah, the sacred plants help you see that, those things that, you know, you don't have control of, just to let it go, and then those things you do have control of, how you can maximize that.
Okay. Since we're sharing that, so brother was saying you can obtain peace and tap into peace by tapping in with the mushrooms. Well, I would say that, you know, mushrooms, where I'm coming from, is not a highly big topic or something that people embrace or, you know, look at in a good light, you know. And I know you brothers have been tapping in with the mycelium for some time, and just would like you brothers to share some awareness about the mushrooms, like, why is it important, you know, and just get some awareness on it, you know.
Cool. So I'll start here, man, because you mentioned mycelium. So even before we get even into psychedelics and therapeutic potential and healing potential and all of that good stuff, we're just talking about an organism, you know, that's alien technology, that's not from the earthly realm, has arrived here, colonized planet Earth. It's the neurological membrane pathways of what keeps this planet communicating, produces soil, created the soil. We even know we come from the soil. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, all of that good stuff. We're dependent on plants. We know that relationship where plants are breathing, eating, all that good stuff.
Really, you said, let me see what Mike, you said, it's alien technology. That hit me, so you said it's not from this planet?
Oh, no.
Right.
So it is what we're, yeah.
Oh, wow, so that's deep. So yeah, the brother said it's alien technology, it's not from this planet, but it's here on this planet. And having a strong presence.
Yeah, they have the presence, man.
Yeah.
So this relationship we have with this organism we call planet Earth, the life force that's keeping this thing functioning is mycelium.
That's it.
You know, it's the mycelium, which origins are alien because it's something beyond Earth. You know? It's not from Earth, so we don't want to get too spooked, you know, into no spook knowledge. We're talking about just it's alien because it comes from space, you know. It arrived by way of a craft, a vehicle, which was, you know, meteorites and comets, arriving to planet Earth. Crash landing in some cases, you know, some going into the ocean, some hitting the bedrock, and eventually, as decomposers, because that's what mushrooms or the mycelium organism is, it's a decomposer, it breaks down organic matter, so you can get new life. That's how we get soil, yeah? So the fact that there was no soil here, they had to break down the rock and, you know, start to create soil. You know, when we think of something coming from the heavens and creating and manifesting Earth as we know it today, because it's not always been this green lush planet, you know, this spore technology, it was the spores on those meteorites and asteroids that eventually came down and colonized the planet and is doing what it's got to do. It's the organic technology, man. The Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, all that kind of good stuff.
Okay. So it's been on this planet operating for a very long time. What's some native and indigenous cultures or civilizations that you know that have been tapping in with these technologies, and how has it been they utilize it to assist their liberty?
So, what's interesting, that phenomenon, as some people may look at it as far as alien technology, there's a scientific term called panspermia. Panspermia. So that's what you can Google, you can understand scientifically how this phenomenon works as far as spores and other microorganisms that are alien to Earth, not originally from Earth, that have came and been a big part of Earth's story. Water being another one of these elements, because water's not from Earth. You know, water's alien as well, you know what I'm saying? So these are things that, yeah, they talk about in, you know, in scientific terms as panspermia. So going back to the point of the question as far as ancient traditions or people that have been using the technology in some of the early groups that we find on planet Earth within their mythology, in particular a group of Congolese so-called pygmies, who within their creation story, in a nutshell, talking about life coming out of a mushroom. You know, and this mushroom being deified as an archetype, as a god, for lack of a better term, and this mushroom god was the creator of all life. Water, the stars, humans, animals came out of the expression of this mushroom dividing and life coming from it. So when you get back to people who know about mycology and you understand how soil was formed, and life as we know it on planet Earth wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this mushroom, mycelium technology doing what it was doing. I'm just saying that to say that the ancients were talking about this stuff, millenniums before the latest mycologists came across these discoveries. They were saying this back home on the continent of Africa.
That's very powerful. Continent Africa. All over the world, man. That's deep. I'm coming from America, brother, so I'm growing up in Richmond, California specific, so didn't come across none of this information. Like some of the stuff you just broke down was new to my awareness, and I give thanks, brother, and I feel like a lot of our people aren't aware of this. It's technology that's here for us that we can utilize and have access to. I'm growing up in America, you're growing up in America, whether it's like when they come out silly and coming to your reality, and starting activating you to tap in with it.
I came into it, just working, like I say, working through, the martial arts in my early 20s. Trying to tap in, you know what I'm saying? For my late 20s, but trying to tap in and find the higher points, just trying to, I was very militant, still am in certain regards regarding, oppression and other forms of domination. And so in this quest, man, I think we all been through it, where we serve as trying to educate our people. We serve against pushing against these powers of oppression. We try to do what we can personally to fulfill our lives. And so I've always been in search of the ultimate weapon or the attempt that we could utilize against this thing. And so, that led to me learning and studying under Kalindi, my teacher. He showed me that, this thing is a multi-dimensional, engagement, physical, mental, spiritual, social, financial, political, cultural, economic, And so trying to engage on all those levels, he told me that it was technologies that would help you with that, so that's how I came into it.
How long have you been working with it now, you feel like?
It's about 20 plus years. About 21, 22, yeah.
What has it done in your life since you've been realizing this?
It's done everything to, a whole lot. It's helped me travel the world. It's done value for my health, my mental health. Financially, it's helped me make, great decisions. It's helped me connect with my culture. It's protecting me in times of distress, whether it's car accidents or particular violence, at a club or bar or something. And those people who may not be familiar, that's the magic he carries. It's created lasting friendships and bonds, with folks connected on some real shit. Man, it's just created my whole world, So, I'm sure my brother here, we've been dealing with it for a while, so it's almost hard to imagine what life was like before it, It's just, so yeah, it's done everything. Even to, I can just go on about everything it's done, in terms of enhancing and enriching my life. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, man. My good brother Darren, man. When did it come into your reality and you started embracing it and activating you to connect with it deeper?
So for me, it was about 10, 11 years ago. That was a period of time where I dedicated my time to exploring what was on the table. After several years of ignoring it and denying that it was a key part of African culture, tradition, and practices, it was something that I always say, most of us when we get into consciousness, we start in history class, you know, and then we go through certain classes, and some have gone to the metaphysics and to the occult and to the spiritual applications. And then if you're on that quest and you don't stay in history class, you come to find that well, we're dealing with plants and fungi and these different technologies and fusing them and doing them in alchemical processes to produce things that allow us to commune with spirit, you know, and be at peace. You know, and all of these other qualities that come along with these experiences. So with that said, that's, you know, why I came to the point where it's like, well, if this is what our people are saying about the technologies, and it's not this white hippie thing and all the programming that I got of what psychedelics and mushrooms were, it was time to explore. You know what I'm saying? So then with that said, it's like ironic as and when I decided to make that decision, you know that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yeah.
It was like, that's how it feels. Like, all right, I'm on the next level now of my mission, and it's like new people come into your world, into your space, and provide you with the knowledge, information, and wisdom that you need, man. So in the same breath, Kalindi returned in my life because I was familiar with him from back in the days doing the martial arts stuff, but didn't know that he was dealing with the mushroom technology. And then my teachers, other teachers were like, well, we're students of Kalindi and this, that, and they made like, right, keeps on coming back to this Kalindi guy, man, so let me check his work. I was pointing in his direction. We eventually got to connect. Then we got to connect and it's opened up. You know, we hear what you see, you know, what you see what we're doing, man, while we're here, connecting with you, bro.
Good things. Acknowledgement to Baba Kalindi and being a pioneer and a leader and encouraging our people, especially our brothers, to get back into this technology and this medicine to activate us and to recognize our divinity and the potential that we can tap into. Even with this Mycelium, like, it's very powerful. It has changed my life, definitely in many ways. And you know, just reflecting on my environment and people from the hood, man. Like, you personally, have you seen people from negative environments, you know, hood, impoverishment environments, utilize some of this medicine, and how has it helped them, and why do you feel like they need to utilize it?
Oh yeah, that's basically what changed it for me. You know, initially it was, you know, of course, working on myself and just having you know, experiences that transformed me, but then going deeper in. And so I started sharing it with my friends who were willing, you know, and those that had went through things, and, you know, just like me, it transformed their lives. You know, I often tell a story about my cousin Daniel. You know, he lets me use his name. He was out here, you know, struggling, you know, with the crack, but you know, through initial experience and follow up, he was cold turkey. His initial experience was cold turkey and follow up to maintain it. Yeah, so I've seen that. I've seen some of my brothers that's come out with this PTSD, you know, coming from lockup, you know, come through and change their lives, depression. And so that's really my passion now. You know, that's why I'm putting out this hood noetics, you know what I'm saying? Because it's really about their work, because you find like the most people with the greatest potential been through the hell, you know what I'm saying? So trying to bring it to the block where it's most needed. That's really where my passion is at right now.
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel that. That's a passion of mine that's developing as well, just growing up from the hood. And got a lot of family members that still kind of, you know, that block mentality and stuff. And they don't look at it as a thing they really want to embrace. You know, a lot of them are just cool with their weed or, you know, the other things they want to mess with. I just see a lot of pain in our people. You know, I went through a lot of pain in my life, so I just seen how it has helped me release a lot of things that become a lot lighter. And I just want to be more expressive in myself. I see a lot of brothers, especially, like, dealing with so much pain and are not able to be vulnerable and just dealing with this shield. You know, there's a lot of tension that I experienced with brothers. It's very uncomfortable, you know, like, feeling like you gotta walk around eggshells around certain brothers. Like, I seen a real low level of ignorance where brothers can just want to kill you.
Yeah, I mean,
shit, you feel me? How I just got shot was just very recklessly, so it's just like, man, I feel in my heart deeply for the passion for our people to tap in with it. You know, like, I'm proud of you brothers, like, being leaders and sharing the information and being vulnerable to put yourselves out here to spread this information, man, because, you know, we need more of our brothers out here, you know, to push, you know, represent that divine masculine energy, especially when it comes to tapping back into nature, that mycelium, you know, this technology. So, really good thanks, man. I feel like it can help our people with creativity as well in many different ways. Like
creative solutions.
Creative solutions, you know. Maybe y'all want to touch on that?
You know, just to piggyback off just the last point as well, it's like, this thing here can heal the hood, man. You know, like, I just want to, like, this is like just how you both express, and it's like, well, I'm going to just only say the same thing. Oh, this thing has lightened my load. I'm in a better place and space. You can speak about other people, you know, that have gone through, you know, whether it's drugs, you know, trauma. You know, I've got young people who I've worked with, connected to, that have come through the process, their own rites of passage to come out the other end from being people who sold drugs, took drugs, you know, both ends of the spectrum, but coming through this rites where they introduce the technology into their life and they're not plugged into that lifestyle no more, and they're on a more positive, you know, lifestyle choice decisions that they're making for themselves, you know, for themselves. So with that said, you know, as far as what it can do, it can heal the hood, it's going to inspire you, you know, so I feel that's, yeah, I mean, we're in the Bay Area, you know, getting where you fit, you know, everyone's got different things that they bring to the table, different levels, so some of us may be inspired by music, some may be through writing, you know, I think the healing, your own personal healing will come through those methods, and that's how you're going to be able to reach people as well, and then through your music, you know, this is how the technology works. So as far as the creative side of it, yeah, I feel like we're going to see, man, we're going to see music evolve, you know, art evolve, you know, we're going to see the evolvement of these creative arts, yeah, because the people are evolving, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to be creating new music, new ways of, and it's happening, man, you know, in the synthetic, you know, 3D matrix, you know, all this, it's happening within there. So like, it's like, where do we fit in that? And maybe because we haven't bitten the apple or the forbidden fruit like Steve Jobs and those guys did, they've run with the technology and doing it in their way, but who knows what happens once we get hold of it and start. You see what happens when, you know, you give us, you know, a pot and some sticks. You know, we make drum, we make music, you know, creative, and we'll be good with that, you know what I'm saying? And so let alone once, you know, people are at peace, you know themselves, and then they're creating music and they're creating art, it's going to be something different than what we've been the expression is going to be different than what we're experiencing now, man.
Give thanks. Well, I look forward to seeing that and manifesting and coming to reality, because that's a beautiful frequency and life that I just express right there. But yeah, man, I want to see our people heal. I want to see humanity heal and tap in with this technology, brothers, man. So I appreciate y'all just taking the time with me tonight to tap into this frequency. Like, we had a beautiful day today. We went to actually tap into the hood today. You know, Fillmore and San Francisco. This is brother. First time in Fillmore today, you feel me? Y'all would like to share that experience today?
For sure, man.
Rocking with us?
Cool, man. Yeah, bro, it's a pleasure, honor to reach and touch this part of the, you know, the States itself, the Bay Area, to get into Oakland and San Francisco, Fillmore, and as we all know now, the synchronicity of that all lined up. It was like, alright, can we check out the place? And then you're telling us in advance of getting there about your people that are there, you know, are still connected to the spot, and then we get the spot and that's the first people we see, people hailing us out, and you know, it was just being well received in a place that I could say from the outside looking in, the stereotypical view would be, if you're going to go there, you're going to get robbed, something's just going to go down there. But you go to these places, you go there, like, you see the children about, you know, everybody's like, it's love, man. And but I get it can be a volatile, you know, space and place at any time. But like, when we arrived, it was love. We received love. It was all love, man. Good vibes. And what I learned is that no matter where you go on the block, you've got the same archetypes, man. You know what I'm saying? You got the same archetypes. You got the guy who's a joker, the guy, you know, the OG, like they're all there, and then once you work out the archetype, it's like, man, you know what's going on. So for me to observe that in Fillmore, which I've heard about and read about by way of, you know, music and books, you know, about, you know, Bay Area culture and lifestyle, yeah, for me to actually be there and see it and witness it in the flesh, yeah, it was an honor and pleasure, man, and I look forward.
Again, brothers was just going in and sharing their experience today in San Francisco when we was tapping into the hood. I'm gonna let the brother Moudou finish and sharing his testimony.
Yeah, I was saying, I think the love we got was based on some of the love we put out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Empress on, that was a dope experience giving out food. You know what I'm saying? To the dispossessed. That was dope. So I felt good about that and linking up with the fam. Because like you say, they're the same archetypes, man. It's like I knew the folks already, you know what I'm saying? So, and the synchronicities, right? We saw several. Everything from you mentioning your cousin, seeing her, to your brother calling us out, right? He drove past the block twice.
Hey!
He was like, hey! And I'm like, man, he act like he's somebody's fan, right? And then we finally stopped. And my man greeted us, you know what I'm saying, introduced us to the rest of the block. And then while we there building, with the little boy say, look, Daddy, I found a mushroom. You know what I'm saying?
Synchronicities.
Yeah, man. To talk about how the mushroom technology can change the block. You know what I'm saying? And being able to have the brother hopefully come out Sunday, check us out, get some science. And this might be the beginning of something big, man. So
Exactly.
that's when you know you're in divine order, man. Things line up. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Like we recall, reflecting back on that experience, connecting with the brother, he said his name was Rico.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was also said he had a lot of influence in many different hoods outside of just that
Yeah,
hood as well. So
let
it
me
was
just
just like,
your mind real quick. Yeah, that's another synchronicity.
Oh,
He
my
grew up
God.
in the hood, like, a little city about 20 minutes from mine in Michigan. So, oh yeah, I grew up, I spent time in Pontiac. So, that was always the signals and signs I look for to know that I'm moving in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
To back up on that note, we're there chilling and the brother come up, we're rapping, and he's like, where you from? I'm like, yeah, UK. He goes, yeah, my family's from the UK. I was like, yeah, I was adopted, and this is where my folks were from, so I was raised there for a piece before we came over to, San Francisco, and I'm like, what, for real? And then he's like, yeah, and I'm listening to UK music still. I'm like, yo. So yeah, man, again, this is just, when things line up, man, just the way it was all flowing throughout the whole transition, man. It was blessed. It was blessed.
definitely a blessed experience, and I definitely feel like we had an impact just coming there, tapping in, and making that connection. You feel me? And like you said, like that brother started tapping in with the mushroom, and tapping in, getting his younger homies to tap in and shit, getting shit, a lot of shit. You feel me?
Yeah,
that's what those are thoughts I was gonna do. I was like, this is divine right here.
Divine order.
So like, I'm gonna even reach out to the brother and definitely encourage the brother to tap in, man, because healing the hood is so necessary, man, because it's a lot of influence and power in the hood.
That's where the power at, man. Power in the streets, man. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's at.
You feel me? So, we want to see the hood heal. We want to see people cultivate peace and be in a harmonic frequency and be able to coexist amongst each other without hurting each other, bringing each other down, but lifting and building, man. You feel me? So we're building these bridges. You feel me? In the Bay Area. You feel me? But I give thanks for you brothers rocking with me tonight. On this platform and today, and looking forward to this event coming up on Sunday. You want to let the people know what's going on Sunday? What's your body all out here?
Yeah, man. So while we're out here, we've been doing. This is the 4th city now where we've touched down, and from Atlanta, and we started out. We hit up Detroit, Denver, and then we're here in Oakland and about to do a series, 3 days back to back. Mushroom technology, man. What can I say? I'm not sure if this will be out by then. But I would say just come out, man. On the Sunday, it's me and Moudou. Going back to back. Dropping, some information regarding technology. I'm going to be talking about skull symbolism, and within mythology, within media, within archetypes, within the entheogenic experience, what these skulls mean and represent and stuff like that. So I'm going to be covering that. And then on the Sunday, Moodoo's doing his stuff. On the Monday, should I say. Then I'm doing some stuff on the Tuesday again. But Moodoo can tell me about his stuff.
Yeah. So I'll be sharing out about the sacred alchemy. We talk about secret societies, fraternities, mystery schools, the pyramid belt around the planet, you know, just unveiling a lot of this and how it's related to the sacred plant technology, and also delving to the science or the theory or the understanding that thought precedes matter, and that matter is not the production of thought, and how important that is to understanding that as creators and architects of the universe. But we're going to get into some of that science, some of the ancient traditions, and how it's manifesting itself today, and what role you and I play in this psychonauts and future psychonauts. So, yeah, and then after that, Monday, I'll be presenting the micro, macro, and mega dose, and the approaches to that, how to approach microdosing and why to approach it, what was the reason for it historically, how to approach macro dosing, which is now what, 3 to 7 or whatever grams. Now I'm on a different scale, we on different scales now. And then the macro, which goes from 9 to however, or mega dosing. So why to approach it, how to approach it, you know, what is used for, techniques, things like that, yeah. Oh, well, you shot the spot out, you know, better than us, but it's Soul Tree Alchemy.
Soul Tree Alchemy, yeah, definitely. That's gonna be the space where it's going down. You feel me? So shout out to everybody involved. Shout out to the Goddess Empress. You feel me? Hosting. Yeah, everything's gonna be divine in alignment. You feel me? I say I'm grateful to be in alignment to be involved with events, we performing and displaying some of my art. It's just to also be able to take in all this information that the brothers have came across along their journeys, you know, that they're doing and presenting out here in the Bay. So give thanks for doing the work, brothers, you feel me, being leaders and influencers. So yeah, give thanks. It's been a good build here on Peace TV. May each and every individual on their journey to embrace and cultivate your inner peace. You feel me? Embrace the things that activate it and get you on that frequency so you can be content and comfortable to be your full expression of yourself and do your thing in this existence. Peace and love. Peace.
Yeah, they really tried to knock me down, but they didn't knock me down. I've been through some ups and downs, but I still keep my smile. I'ma make my mama proud. I'm a king, I'ma rock my crown. They really tried to knock me down, but they didn't knock me down. I'm Brother Peace coming out of Richmond, not tryna be like these other niggas, I'm coming different. All these positive vibes got me feeling uplifted. Took a couple shots, I'm so glad I'm living. I got purpose in this life, so I'ma live it when I live it.